Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Bolt City Podcast. Dave Palais, Josh Palais, Mario Heron. Look at that, just a couple days later, and we're back. Big news. I think Mario, you called it. If there's big
Yeah,
news coming down, and guess what? There's about to be big news. We'll be back right away, and here we are. We're back, man. That good news if you're a Charger fan, actually.
So what do you
yeah.
think? Do you guys agree that Justin Herbert's worth all that money?
Go ahead, Mario. You go first. This is the thing I know you were actually promoting, and you said it's going to happen, guys, sooner than later. Watch, and then sure enough, man, almost right after we got off the air, it happened.
Look, I thought it was beautiful. As soon as it happened, I ran upstairs. I kissed my mom on the cheek. I said, "I love you. This is one of the best days ever." We got him extended. It's a headache we don't have to worry about later in the year. It's something we did before Burrow's contract, and Burrow's contract's about to be insanity of all the money he's going to get with everything he's done. And let's just be honest, that Herbert has it done. And now I think you eliminated every single distraction from going into this season is now gone, right? Like you handled Eckler's contract situation. You've handled Herbert's contract situation. You extended Derwin James last season. That's your three best players right there, all under contract, all sitting happy, pretty, besides a couple Zoom meetings. Everyone's doing good. We're focused on the season. Let's get Charger football in. Let's worry about nothing else except winning. Let's worry about that, especially Herbert passing touchdowns, because 7-1 ticket your boy has, and that'd be really cool if I could cash it and then buy something nice in Wrigleyville. So I love the move. It was only going to get more expensive. And look, we're in this time right now where every franchise QB is going to be the next richest QB in NFL history. Everyone's just going to keep topping each other. It's just going to happen. You had to do it quick. You had to do it fast. He got it. It's a little bit less guaranteed and a lot of incentives in the deal. But it's perfect for a guy in his first 3 years. He's a leader in completions, passing yards, combined touchdowns, and 300-yard passing games. That's pretty damn good. I love the move. Let's focus on the season. Screw the Raiders, bolt up, and Patrick Mahomes, your voice is weird. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Josh.
This is an extremely team-friendly deal. How did they only sign him for $52 million? And I know it's a ton of money, but Justin Herbert to me is the face of the league. Put Patrick Mahomes aside, I'm putting Justin Herbert right there with Joe Burrow's future. That's how good I think Justin Herbert is. I think it's extremely team-friendly. As a Charger fan, I'm ecstatic. You know, we're 1-0 this week because we signed Justin Herbert. It's a big win for us this week. But I think it's extremely team-friendly.
You know, I look at it so many different ways. Yeah, did I expect him to get the money? Yes. Now, look, it was smart on 2 points getting the deal done right now before Joe Burrow, because the talk was who's going to jump first, right? Is it going to be Burrow?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Herbert? If you're a Herbert, you definitely wanted, if you're a Burrow, you wanted Herbert to sign first because you wanted to use, that bar to go, this is what he's done. This is what I've done. This is where I was taken in the draft. This is where he was taken in the draft. I've gone to a Super Bowl. He hasn't gone to a Super Bowl. I've won playoff games. He hasn't won anything. So, for Herbert to go in and sign first, the argument works in his favor too, because Burrow could have signed first for more money. And then he goes in with his agent, says, we want the same deal Burrow got. And the Chargers will go, what are you, insane? What have you done? You haven't won a playoff game. You haven't been to a Super Bowl. And a matter of fact, the team that we're most concerned about in our city that we share a stadium with played in a Super Bowl and they won a championship. And now we're playing from behind anyway. So for the Chargers, I think it worked out great. And for Herbert, it worked out great. No more of that thinking, is this deal going to get done? Am I going to be happy when this deal's done? Will they respect me and pay me what I'm worth? He's definitely worth the money he's getting, because that's what the quarterback position pays for guys that are as good as Justin Herbert is. Now, at the same time, this is where the uncomfortable thing, I think, comes in. If I'm Justin Herbert, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. You signed the deal. It's the biggest story going right now in the NFL that Justin Herbert signed. For now, it's the biggest story until Joe Burrow signs or something else big happens. Dude, how do you make even eye contact with Austin Eckler? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, hey, we're teammates. I'm going to depend on you a lot. You're going to depend on me a lot. And I make more than 5 times the amount of money you make. And yet you complain about it every day. I haven't said a word. And look what happened. I just fell into a big pile of money. $52 million a year.
I think you set up a Zoom meeting with him and Josh Jacobs and said, how you doing? I think that's what you got to do.
Now, look, it's not Justin Herbert's fault, right? It's not Justin Herbert's fault, but it is weird because, the guy that you see every day that stands, 10 feet from you, is really, really upset. And yet Justin Herbert, who has been in the league a shorter amount of time, and we all agree the quarterback position is more valuable. It's just kind of funny that, hey, I know you're really unhappy, but I am so happy right now. You can't believe it.
Show them
It's-
houses.
It's
Yeah.
ironic. I mean, dude, the guy that makes Justin Herbert, one of the guys that makes Justin Herbert look so good is Austin Eckler, but it's really an apples to oranges comparison. We were talking about
100%.
Austin Eckler and Justin Herbert. And the crazy thing is, Aaron Rodgers reworks his deal today so they can create more cap room. He takes a $35 million pay cut right out of Tom Brady's book to help him sign some more players, hopefully get another Super Bowl ring. A lot going on. But like I said, the Chargers are the big winners this week. You have to be extremely happy if you're a Charger fan. Do you guys have any predictions of what Joe Burrow is going to reel in? Because like you said, Mario, this is going to be the biggest deal in NFL history.
I mean, so he only totally highest paid quarterbacks per year I'm looking at right now. Like it's 52.5. Herbert, Lamar is 52, then Hurts 51. So I wouldn't just be surprised if they were just it's 53, and it's the difference between Herbert and his is fully guaranteed, and his is just like a kick in the nuts of Watson's deal. Like if you thought yours was guaranteed, buddy, you're about to see something nuts. I think that's just kind of something that's going to come his way. If you're the Bengals, I mean, I preached this with the Chargers too, and I think it was another reason why it's really smart to get it done now. We've all said that. I mean, Dave, you're big on Herbert for MVP this year. I like him for passing touchdowns. Josh, you've said over and over again that Kellen Moore is going to extend the field, throw the ball down, and something that really Herbert excels in. We all see that a big season's coming. Could you imagine how much more expensive he would have gotten at the end of the season? I mean, it would have been insane the amount of money we'd have to even cough up front just for that. And not to mention a new price. Like, let's say, I know his contract's not up, but, let's say Lawrence has a big year, right? Fields, let's say, comes up and has a big year, right? Those are two organizations that never really had a franchise quarterback. So they're going to toss the freaking world at him. I mean, the World Bank's going to go in debt more than I guess it already is. I don't know. But it would be insane the amount of money that these guys would get. But so it was smart for Chargers to do that on that end. The Rodgers thing's just kind of, all right, we're good guy Rodgers again. Yeah, kiss my ass, buddy. About in a month, you're back being the devil. But I think, bro, I would imagine if it just goes 53 and then it's the most insane amount of guaranteed contract money of all time. It'd be funnier. It'd be really funny since he's has a history of being cheap. Is that if they really lowball him? That would be funny. I would buy Sky and Chili and have a good time reading that.
So here's the deal. You're right. So Cincinnati has the reputation of being the cheapest organization ever. That's just what they are. They always have been. They have arguably the best quarterback in the league. Obviously, all three of us think it's Mahomes, but people in Cincinnati will say we wouldn't trade Burrow for anybody. They love him. Ohio kid, right? He's supposed to be the face of the franchise, which he is. Ohio State made a huge mistake. He goes to LSU, wins a national championship. Everything has worked out perfect for Joe Burrow, the Ohio kid, to go home. Took him to a Super Bowl, everything, and the best they say is in front of him. I'm going to surprise you. You guys tell me if you think I'm crazy. I think Joe Burrow takes less money. I think Joe Burrow shows I am the ultimate team guy. I not only will I make my money back with endorsements, will I look good for the fans of the Bengals and for the state of Ohio, but at the same time, by me taking less, I get to keep my wide receivers. So we all know that Joe Mixon's going to stay. We all know that they have Chase, and the big thing is, can they afford T. Higgins, right? Him taking less will let him keep all of his weapons and be a dominating team for maybe the next 10 years. Would not surprise me at all if Joe Burrow takes less, kind of does the Tom Brady move.
Dude, I don't know why more people do not do the Tom Brady move. Weren't you to make that money back in endorsements if you end up winning Super Bowls and playing in the playoffs every year? The Bengals, to me, have the most unfair advantage with T. Higgins. Everybody wants to talk Jamar Chase, which they should, right? Amazing wide receiver. T. Higgins is in the top 10, in case you're confused about the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. The guy's a freak. If you could keep him and Jamar Chase for the long run, dude, I don't know why you wouldn't do it if you're Joe Burrow. There's a few guys on Twitter that I see, and I respect what they put out there. There's a lot of guys that put bull crap on Twitter. Adam Schefter is one of the guys that I trust. And he said he can promise us that Joe Burrow's contract is going to be well north of Justin Herbert's. So whenever Adam Schefter says something like that, you believe it. Do you guys agree?
I do. I'm an Adam Schefter fan. I believe it. And I think, honestly, he could ask Mario for like $58 million and get it. Nobody would say, oh, that's crazy. For what he's done so far in his career, I just think he's going to surprise all of us and be the ultimate team guy.
Okay, could you also see it? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm looking this up right now because I do not want to be wrong. Yeah, okay, I'm right on this. I could also see them going, it's going to be an insane amount of contract, like an insane amount of money, but do what they did with Mahomes, the Chiefs did, where it is a crazy long period of time, right? Like it is an 8-year, 9-year, like 10-year contract, right? Like I could see where that way, where yeah, it blows Herbert's contract out of the water, blows Lamar's, Hurts, Mahomes's, Rodgers, like all that out of the water. But it's over such a crazy period of time, such a long period of time, and so much guaranteed that it's still team friendly, right? So like if you want to get Jamar Chase on a 3-year whatever deal, T Higgins on a 4-year deal. I mean, they got 2 pass rushers too. Like they still need to pay Mixon on like a 2-year deal. You can kind of do that. So I think I could see that going and just going, let's just make it this like an 8 to 10-year contract to make it fat, make it long though, because Burrow said it. And he's a hometown kid. As long as he's there, they're going to be a contender. And all signs point to like he's going to be there for a while. So you might as well just pack him in for a long, long period of time. And that's nothing for Herbert's deal, right? The no trade clause in it. I mean, God bless. Not only do we find a king, we found a king that goes, yeah, my kingdom's here, baby. I'm not leaving.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to your point about the long contracts, I don't know why every quarterback isn't signed to a long contract. They're not getting hit. Why wouldn't you sign these guys and lock them up for a long time like they do in baseball? Sign them to the Shohei Ohtani deal. You know, if you're the Chargers, why not give Justin Herbert an 8-year contract, a 10-year contract? He's young. He's probably not going to get injured, knock on wood. So why wouldn't you do it?
That's a fair point. Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say, Dave?
No. I'm with Josh. But here's the deal. I always think we always get confused as fans for how important it is to win a Super Bowl. And I think there's no other position where it's important when you talk about legacy than quarterback. I mean, we just spoke on the last show about Philip Rivers. Is he a Hall of Famer? What is it that's holding Philip Rivers back? And the thing that probably doesn't get him in, if he doesn't get in, will be the fact he never won a Super Bowl or participated in a Super Bowl. Legacy is always marked down as Super Bowl championships. I mean, Patrick Mahomes said the other day, someone said the word dynasty to him, and he got upset. He goes, no, we got to win 3 for it to be a dynasty. 2 is just, back to, basically we're competitive if we won 2 championships. But you want to talk about us being one of the greatest teams of all time, we need to win at least 3 of them. I don't know. I just think Burrow, Josh, you said it, that he said he wants to be competitive and the team will be competitive. The money's there. People always ask this question, how much money does one person, need? You always hear that all the time. I'm not a big fan when other people talk about other people's money. What does the money say? The money says you're worth it. I mean, there's an ego involved there too. I mean, if he got, let's say $58-60 million, the money says he's worth it as a top quarterback, if not the top quarterback in the league. It will be interesting to watch. But I think this played out perfectly for Charger fans and for Justin Herbert, that it's out of the way. And there's a reason why we're all excited. You just don't want to have to worry about contract situations and what's next. I do want to point out real quick on the Aaron Rodgers thing before we move on to other stuff, because Mario follows that division like crazy. He hates the Green Bay Packers. He always talks about it all the time. He even hates the uniforms. There's nothing about it that he likes. He was so unteam friendly when he was in Green Bay to the point where they couldn't keep Devontae Adams. Now, all of a sudden, he's reworking his deal with the Jets, and he just got there. And you're going, what the hell? He's talking about playing a second year, that he's not doing the fake retirement deal like he did in Green Bay all the time. If I was a Packers fan, I'd be furious right now to go, all of a sudden, he's the quarterback we wished he always would have been, instead of being the guy he is with the Jets. The Packers got the worst of Aaron Rodgers. The Jets right now seem like they're getting the best of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And I think it's also just, like you said, it's funny his like different approach to this, like the approach of so much drama with the Packers and so much is he even going to show up to the training camp, the Devontae Adams situation, him on multiple times about LaFleur, how he doesn't like all the motions LaFleur has pre-plays. And he's like, dude, let's just give me a snap the ball. Let me read the defense and let's just go. And then right now it's like, but it's also a classic New York Jets thing, right? Like we get the camp, it's smooth sailing. This team's going to be great. You have the guy with the strongest New York accent of all time screaming on the fan going, this is the year, go ahead, buy the season tickets, get the parade ready, all of this stuff. And by week 3, they're all crying already and they're boycotting the stadium. They got trash bags over their heads and they're back to being depressed New Yorkers that they've always has been and that we've always loved. So it's a story as old as time. I think it's going to keep happening. He looks very skinny, by the way. Like he looks a lot thinner than he actually did in Green Bay. And yeah, I mean, if I was a Packer fan, which I thank the Lord, praise be that I'm not, I would be pretty pissed off just like with how things, like you can't tell me you're not like a little let down with how things ended. Yes. Did you dominate your rival? You did. Do you dominate NFC North? You did. But you only got one. And that's at the end of the day. And then on his way out with his 2 back-to-back MVP seasons, you have nothing to show for it. And how did those losses taste? In your stadium by the 49ers, who just shoved it down your throat. That's what she said over and over again.
I can't believe Aaron Rodgers has won Super Bowl for how great he was. He was the Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. Every Sunday you turn on your TV and say, how is this guy so freaking good? Tom Brady's great, but Aaron Rodgers makes things look even easier. He only has 1 Super Bowl. Same with Drew Brees, man. 1,000,000 yards, all that crap. 1 Super Bowl. I think that just goes to show how great Tom Brady was. Peyton Manning, the guys would make it all the time.
Peyton has 1. Peyton really has 1. He got benched the second one.
Yeah. Defense was the best defense I've probably ever seen, that Broncos team. The Aaron Rodgers thing is really interesting because, like you said, he looks different physically. He looks different. He looks like he's aged in the face like 3 years since last season, but he looks pretty damn good on these clips they've been putting in practice. I don't know if I believe the whole Garrett Wilson hype train that they've been doing the last few weeks. He's the number 3 receiver in the NFL. I don't believe that at all. I want to see Hard Knocks. I want to see how good these guys really are.